Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing and community every weekday. We've been coming together for 5 years straight. Today is our 5-year anniversary. We bring together people from all over the world, sisters and brothers from every corner of the world to say good morning to each other, to say hello, to say hi. Janice and Adele, good to see you. Beautiful friends at Westchester Jewish Coalition to support refugees and immigrants. Thank God you're here and you do your work. It has been a blessing to be part of this community for 5 years today. Anya and Linda, Chana, it is good to see you. Send our love everywhere in Jerusalem, my friends. Adrian and Lisa, Jack and Arlene, Boker Tov, good to see you. Cecile and Siona, Jonathan, Michelle, and Susie, sending love to all of you. Today is our 5-year anniversary as a community. What a bizarre thing it is, but what a real moment of celebration, of accomplishment for us all. Lydia and Amy, Carl, Cindy, Barbara, and Helen. Good morning, everyone. And Chana, you in Jerusalem, good evening. Janice, it's good to see you. Deborah and Sandy, Minna and Linda, and Corinne, good morning. Good morning. Chana wrote, for those on Instagram, Chana wrote, I'm holding it down for y'all. Thank you. I know you are. All right, Janice and Natalie, Robin, and Stanley. Stan, you're in Osaka, Japan. Stan and Diane, you are with us on our 5-year anniversary in Japan. That's cool. Penny, it's good to see you too. Judy, welcome, my friend. Sandy, good to see you. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Debbie. Okay, let's take a breath. We're going to sing a bracha as we have every day for 5 years together, my friends. I haven't tuned the guitar. Wish me luck. Neil, it's good to see you. Good morning, my friend. Arlene, you're in the National Library in Jerusalem. That is an honor. Talk about a real archive of learning and growth. That is beautiful. Thank you, my friend. La 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 today la 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 so good in Torah, Hafoch ba, so good in Torah. La 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 Friends, we are all over the world. Susie's in Toronto. Barbara is with us. She's in the Vatican. Stan and Diane are in Japan. Arlene is in Tel Aviv. Chana's in Jerusalem. Some of us are in Maine, I saw. We are all over, my friends. And this is a moment of celebration in the midst of the very real world that we inhabit. It is important for us not to miss these moments. Let us celebrate this. 5 years of Torah every single morning, of staying steady even when the world doesn't, even and especially. Oh, Linda, thank you. You're in Canada. Good. Wherever we are, friends, you want to post where you are. We'll celebrate where each one of us is situated. 5 years of finding each other every single day. That is no small thing. And it's helpful, actually, in the midst of this moment, to remember the steadiness of a learning community. And so let's acknowledge this moment. Today's instability is significant. For the last 529 days, all of the days since October 7th, we have counted each one of those days too. We are holding each other. We are holding our beloveds. 59 of our sisters and brothers awaiting freedom, held in terrible terror tunnels for 529 days. We have prayed for them every single day, sung to them, learned in their honor, organized, cried, screamed, celebrated at their releases, proud of their families, proud of our people. Today's a day where their fates are again at terrible risk. So I want to dedicate all of the learning today in their honor, for their sakes, for their freedom. May there be wisdom in the decision-making halls that leads to the freedom of our sisters and brothers. Everything I say, friends, everything I say today is for them. I hope everything you feel in this one moment, that we can devote our hearts just for a moment to them. 59 beloveds. We believe that half of them might be alive today. We want them all home today so we can love them and care for them, bury some of them, and give their families the gifts that they have needed so desperately, that we have all needed, but they especially have needed for 529 days, where we are all from. I'm so glad we're saying it. It's beautiful to see people in White Plains, New York, waving locally to all of you. Richmond, Virginia, where I am sending my love and just was on Sunday with you. Plainview, where I grew up. What a gift. But no matter where we're from, we know where our hearts point. And for 5 years, friends, 5 years. Ooh, Shush is in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. That's exciting. For every morning of these 5 years, we have found each other through pandemic, through deep political upheavals which continue in the United States. When war began in Ukraine, we were here. We've comforted each other in moments of loss, prayed for each other at doctor visits. What a remarkable thing it is to celebrate babies being born and healing and friendships, creating new friendships here. Sending love to Whitestone and Selkirk, New York, and Aventura, Florida. Rural Iowa, sending love. Amy, it's good to see, Aviva, it's good to see you. We're all here. This is a big Hineni moment. 5 years of finding each other. I know that I haven't focused on the Parsha yet, but isn't there deep Torah in presence? We're all here. I am grateful for you. I'm grateful for what this community means. In my own moments of vulnerability, you've been there. And we take turns. We all have. Let's learn just a little bit of the Parsha. And we'll call it, not a day, we'll call it 5 years. And we're getting ready for the next. This community matters. The steadiness of this community matters. Knowing that we're here, we have been here, we will be here. Karen in Yonkers and Kathy in Gray, Tennessee, we are here. And as Joyce said, that's exactly where I was going. Parshat Vayakhel, we gathered. And in fact, if you remember the Torah that I taught yesterday in honor of my father, the word Vayakhel, that Moshe, it's usually translated, Moshe gathered us. It actually means he caused us to gather ourselves. The words gathered us. These words, Torah, gathers us. So This is from chapter 35, verse 5. I'll just read the English of Exodus. So again, 35:5. Take from among you gifts to God. To set the context, remember, friends, that Parshat Vayakhel that we're in now and Pekude next week are repetitions in some ways of the instructions how to build the Mishkan, the tabernacle, and then the furniture for it, and then the clothing of the priests who would serve it on our behalf. So we read, take from among you gifts to God, everyone whose heart so moves them. Turns out we've got a history of open-heartedness. Shall bring gifts for God, gold, silver, copper. Just, this is a litany, I'm sorry, but listen. Blue, purple, crimson yards, fine linen, goat's hair, tanned ram skins, dolphin skins, and acacia wood, oil for lighting, spices for the anointing oil and for the aromatic incense, lapis lazuli and other stones for setting, for the ephod and for the breastpiece. I called this, I looked at a note that I wrote a little while ago, a cascade of specificities. And you might read this list, and we read it twice, as I just told you. We read about it in Truma and Tetzaveh. We're reading it for Vayakhel, and we'll read it again in Pekude next week. You might read this list and say, enough. I don't need to hear that over and over again. But the truth is we do. And I hope that you listened to the materials that were in that list. They were precious. Every detail is precious. And so I want you to know that every morning saying your names is precious to me. When the priest would walk around, he carried on the breastplate the choshen mishpat, and on the ephod, on his shoulders, and on the tzitz, on his forehead, and on the hem of his robe, these details, all of these materials. And remember that in the desert, we did not stay still, and so we were here and we were there, and all of these materials were carried by all of us. But the priest, which we don't have anymore, carried us while we carried everything. It's important to know that one of the big revolutions in Jewish history was the shift from the priesthood to what we now call the rabbinate. We don't live biblical Judaism, we lead rabbinic Judaism. And that means that the big gift of being a part of the Jewish community today is that we take turns carrying. And over the course of any period of time, especially 5 years, March 18th, 2020, boy, have we taken turns carrying each other. And to see the possibilities of a digital community, which we are, we have met through screens almost every time. There have been a few moments where we show up. The launch of the book that we created out of the first year of our learning called A Year of Torah. There was a celebration at UJA last year that I was incredibly humbled to be a part of, marking all of the work that we have done. But we take turns. That's what it is to be part of the Jewish community. There is no priest, and Barbara, you're in the Vatican, but for us, there is no pope, no Jewish pope. We take turns. Any one of us can be the person doing the speaking, the learning, the sharing. And in the comments, every single day, for 5 years, we have done this. And Amy, no, that's a great question. And that, in fact, it makes this point too. Were all these precious stones found right in the desert? And the answer is no. Somehow, our ancestors had them, traded for them with wandering tribes, or brought them out of Egypt, an ancient form of reparations for the enslavement of 210 years of our people. We carried these precious things, and we knew that they were supposed to be dedicated to the holy. Whatever we are blessed to have, friends, it's meant to be part of a great purpose beyond ourselves. And Arlene just wove exactly where I wanted to go. Because for 529 days, we have carried precious things on our chests, in our hearts, in our words, in our deeds, in our funding, in our organizing, in our mobilizing. When we say bring them home, that is the shiniest, thing we are pointing to, our beloveds. We carry our hearts. We always have. Through these 5 years, we have carried each other through significant things. The gift of this technology is I've been able to bring us together on the border of Ukraine and Poland, in Israel many times now, thank God. As we go through the world, friends, we are each uniting. And you know what the zeros and ones of computer code have enabled? A recreation of Mount Sinai itself over these 5 years, 1 year for each book of the Torah. We have gathered around the mountain no matter where we are, and somehow we have known that we are shoulder to shoulder. We all belong here. The world could gain so much if it would model itself after this non-judgmental and intensively loving community, which requires a cascade of specificities. It requires it. You need the list of stuff. You need the zeros and ones. You need to acknowledge where we are and where we're from and where we're going and what matters. We stand for beautiful things, friends. And deep down, as Tali just said, we are never alone. This community matters. It's a community. You are part of something beautiful. I get to be part of something beautiful. You're not alone. And because of our work, no one is alone. So again, on this, the 5-year anniversary, you, the precious jewels, let's all send our hearts as intensely as we ever have to places we cannot see, to comfort and strengthen our beloveds, to make sure they know they're not alone either. We keep on learning, we keep on growing, we will keep on keeping on. In this moment, I'm asking us as a community to add strength to the world, to add love to our people, and to give courage where it is most needed. So take a breath. On this, our 1263rd broadcast. On this, our 529th day since October 7th of learning. On this, our 5-year anniversary. Say with me before we sing, bring them home now. Let's say it a few times. Bring them home now. Bring them home now. Kol hod balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia od lo avda tikvateinu hatikva bat shnot 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. Bring them home now. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, my friends. Take care.